You've made it through the first trimester. You're into the second. What can you expect? That's the big question. Well, I'll tell you all about it. The good news is this is the best part of the pregnancy. You're going to really enjoy it. You're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be pretty amazing. Now, there are a couple of rough spots, but with the right approach and the right support, you're going to make it through that no problem. And I'll tell you how to do that, and I'll tell you what to look out for. In fact, let's talk about those rough spots first, because they're so easily dealt with that we can just discuss them, develop a strategy, and then move on and talk about how to take advantage of the good parts of this trimester. Now, the difficulties, the rough spots in this trimester have to do with baby care and OB visits. Mom is going to get stressed out a couple of times when she goes in. And the first time is when they run what's called a glucola test. Now that tests for gestational diabetes. Now mom may be super healthy, have no history of diabetes, and just be incredibly fit. But it's possible that the pregnancy itself causes diabetes to set in. So they run glucola, where they give her some sugar, test her blood levels, and see how she does to determine if that's the case. And now if it is the case, it's really no big deal. They know how to treat for that. But that's going to cause her some stress, because no mom wants to become diabetic. She doesn't want to have a more difficult pregnancy. And she may be worried about that test when it comes up. So just be aware of that and be supportive. Don't give her false assurance. Don't say, oh, you'll be fine. Tell her the truth. The truth is, either way the test comes out, it's going to be okay. Either she doesn't have diabetes, which is great, or she does, and that's no problem because there's a treatment for it. It's really no big deal. Now, the second difficult part is the anatomy scan. This is where they go in and they take a look at all the internal organs. They spend a lot of time looking at the heart to make sure it functions well. And they can also tell you if you have a boy or a girl. Now, you don't have to find out. You can ask them not to tell you. You just might have to look away from the monitor at certain times, but they will have that information. The difficulty is that there's a very, and I can't stress how rare this is, but there's a very rare chance that during the second trimester, this is the point where they will tell you if you've had a loss. In other words, if the baby didn't make it. And that can be devastating. Now, OBs generally don't say, hey, we recommend both partners being there in case there is a loss so you can support each other. They just say, we highly recommend both of you come to this anatomy scan. And the reason is for that incredibly small percentage chance that the baby passes away and hasn't made it to this point. So when the anatomy scan comes up, make a huge effort to be there with your partner. If there is something that goes wrong, the two of you are going to get through it a lot more easily and a lot better than if it's just her and a big surprise that she has to deal with on her own. So please make sure you're there for the anatomy scan part of the OB visits. Then, just generally speaking, if you can make it to all of the OB visits with her, that's going to help out a lot. She's going to get a lot of reassurance and a lot of calmness and less stress just by having your presence when she goes in to see the doctor. This is the first time she's gone through it. It's a big deal. She doesn't know exactly what to expect, and to have the two of you there together goes a huge way to making this a much easier process. So please try to make a point and go into all the OB visits with her. It's really going to help. Now, those are the big rough spots. If you can make it through the baby care and help reduce stress for mama, you guys are going to be great. Now, let's talk about the good part. The good part about this trimester is the mood change. What's happening inside of mom is in the first trimester, there's a large progesterone and HCG surge that's necessary for a healthy pregnancy, but that's really exhausted her. That made her tired, that brought her down, made her nauseated, and she was just feeling like junk. Now, almost at the very beginning of the second trimester, there's a huge estrogen surge, which is going to completely turn the tables around. There's a really good chance that mom can have more energy and feel better than she did even before the pregnancy started. She might feel like she's on top of the world, and that's going to last for several weeks. So if you guys want to take one last vacation, now's the time. Do it in the second trimester. If there's something you wanted to do before the baby arrives, like a small road trip or going to Hawaii, whatever, here you go. Schedule it in the second trimester. Trust me, now's the time to do it. So enjoy your time together. Enjoy that high period. But at the back of your mind, just realize this is temporary. It's going to go away when the third trimester sets in, but enjoy it while you can. Now, from an intimacy point of view, that sex drive that mom lost in the first trimester is going to come back in spades here during the second trimester. There's a really high probability she's going to be feeling pretty frisky, and you guys are going to have a great time together. That's all right. Enjoy it while it lasts. Roll with it. Really just take advantage of it. You may have to get kind of creative in some of the positioning. Mom might not want a lot of pressure on her stomach. It might not feel good. Things that were fun and pleasurable in the past may not carry over and be pleasurable here. So just experiment, mix things up. Try to have an open dialogue with your partner. Talk to her about it, what she likes, what she doesn't like, and just realize it's going to be different. It's going to be good, but it's going to be different. And that's all right. That's just how it is. Speaking of pressure on the stomach, around the 16-week to 20-week mark, that's when people generally tend to notice a baby bump. Now, you as a partner may see that sooner. You can see it as early as 12 weeks, maybe 13 weeks, but the public will start to notice it, and other people start to notice it through clothes around 16 to 20 weeks. Also, another fabulous part of this trimester is you're going to start to feel motion. Again, around the 16 to 20 week mark is when you're going to start to feel the baby kick, maybe move just a little bit, and they're going to feel like light flutters from mom at first. You are not going to feel them right away. You probably won't feel them until about 3 or 4 weeks after she does, but when you do, it's amazing, and it's going to be just, it's wonderful. It's going to be eye-opening, it's going to be fantastic, and that's going to last through the rest of the pregnancy. The baby's going to continue to get stronger. The baby's going to kick more. The baby's going to move its shoulders, move its head, and you're going to feel all sorts of motions. And it's just going to continue to develop as the weeks go by. And it's such a great feeling. It really is. So the big takeaway here is don't waste a minute. Take advantage of the time you guys have. Take advantage of those good feelings. Don't think and don't expect it's going to last forever, because it's not. You have just until about the start of the third trimester before the hormone flood changes and things become very different again. So really, get out there. If you think of something in spur of the moment, now's the time. Don't overdo things. Don't absolutely have to pack everything in, but really, don't hold back either. Take that vacation. Now's the time. And remember, at the beginning of that third trimester, things are going to start reverting more similarly and more closely to how they were in the first trimester. It'll be different from the first trimester, but it's going to model that type of behavior and those energy levels a little bit more closely. In fact, if you want to hear what to expect in the third trimester, please see my next video where I'll tell you all about it and let you know what to expect and help walk you through the rough spots, let you know what you can enjoy, and really tell you about everything that you need to know to get through that third trimester and help make things less stressful. And if you want to know what the first trimester is like, please see my previous video where I talk all about that, let you know what to expect, and really, the first trimester is the hardest. If you're here, the tough part's already out of the way. So you've got this. Keep going, be strong, and just observe. Roll with the punches, and you'll get through it just fine. All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks for tuning in. Please hit like, subscribe, and check out my next video all about the third trimester.